Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for being so patient with me while I get this going. Let me go ahead and get our other part going. How's your day been? Has your day been good? Because my day has been great. I got to be a speaker today at an event, and it was so good. All right, so I see that I'm live. There we go. Perfection. Here we are. Is that working? Good. If it's not working good. All right. Transformation Tuesday. This is our second Tuesday to be doing this. Let me come out of that and go right back in. Oh, okay. I guess that's not going to work. Let me open up my notes. Transformation Tuesday last week was probably a lot. I know it can be really tough when you're hearing something for the first time and go, how in the world do I process this? So we're doing these for a month of Tuesdays. So this is the second one. If you watch today's and it's broken down even more, maybe you can go back to the one on Tuesday. How you do that is you click on my profile, Connie Street, and then you click on more and then click on events and then scroll down to last Tuesday's live. Today is, I believe, the 28th. So let's just go back to last Tuesday. You will do that for any of the events that we have done, and I hope that you enjoy them. I hope that you tag a friend. I hope that you find this information super valuable, that you can find the ones coming up in Self-Care University OK Wellness Group. Self-Care University OK Wellness Group. That's where you can find the ones coming up and mark going, so that way you can get that notification. Hello, my name is Connie, and I'm a registered nurse, and I love what I do because what I do is I provide education and information. For one, it really does help me whenever we are having a conversation. If you've heard me speak on a topic and you book an appointment and you want to talk more about it and you want to dive deeper about it, absolutely, this is what it is for. So I have been a self-care coach for 27 years. I have been in the healthcare industry for 27 plus years. I am an RN. I've been an RN for well over 13 years. And I love what I do. So whenever you are watching this, I hope that my credentials are enough. But if they're not, I have so many certifications, and I always attend continuing education in the field of naturopathy, in the field of women's wellness, in whatever the niche that I have. If there are continuing education classes, I'm there, I do them. My calendar stays very full with classes. All right. So today's topic is going to be, of our Transformation Tuesday, small shifts, big change. Making last week's lessons click. Don't you love that? Whenever you are hearing something and you feel so smart, you do. You are like, this is clicking. This is great. That is so wonderful. That just means that it is okay to take the next step forward. If something is not clicking, that is not the time to trudge through and think that you're going to get it on the other side. Okay? That's why I said, if today's message, if it makes sense, then go back and watch last week's message, if you would like. So, every Tuesday we talk about mindset, movement, and motivation, because real transformation doesn't happen overnight. No one is expecting perfection here. So if I ask you to make a comment, if I ask you to put something in the discussion page, if I ask you to put something in your journal, I definitely do not expect perfection. Okay? It does. It happens through small steps and also consistency. I know that there is burnout. I know that there are so many different things, but if you can find your motivation today, let's go. Okay? Now, if you're watching this, I would love for you to say hi in the comments and tell me one word that describes how your week's going. I know it's only Tuesday. I know. I want to know, how is your week going? Because if anything needs to change, it needs to change today, because we still have 3 more work days to go. And if you're in the medical field, you know that you've got these weird wonky shifts. So let's talk about how that's going. Okay. Also, if you are watching this on the replay, I would love for you to give me a pumpkin emoji. We are in the month of October at the time of filming this, so I would love to know that you stopped by. If you are watching this on the replay even if this is a year from now, I still want to know, how are you doing? How's it going? Okay. Last week we talked about small changes that build momentum. Small changes that build momentum. And today we're going to slow that down. Okay. We are going to unpack and we're going to see what it really means for this to click. All right. So I've got 2 things. Okay. We're going to talk about. These are key. We are going to talk about the difference between motivation and momentum. If you want to pause this, if you're on the replay and you want to write in your journal, if you want to write in your book of thoughts, if you want to write in your book that it's your gossip tank. It's the thing that you swear to. You're just going to cuss it out because you just had such a bad week. That is that place. Okay. If you want to pour out blessings, if you want to talk about how your day is so good because you just really know that if you shared that information with your friends, they might be like, oh, you're just bragging. Oh, put it in your brag book. If your journal is your brag book, let's go. Okay. All right. So there is a difference between momentum and motivation. The second thing that we're going to do, this is the key takeaway, is how to create small, lasting shifts. Okay. That lead to big transformations. Changing can be very hard. Changing can be frustrating, and changing can be so good. Okay. Especially when it comes to your wellness, your habits, and your mindset. Okay. So let's start here. A lot of people, they think that motivation is what creates change. They think that motivation is what creates change. But the truth is, motivation actually comes and goes. Think about that commercial that motivated you to book that appointment with me, to do your wellness, weight loss, and gut detox program. What was the thing that made you want to buy that 10-in-1 gym? What was the motivation behind the supplements that you purchased? Yes, because momentum. Okay, here we go. The truth is that motivation comes and goes. So some days you will wake up feeling super inspired, and other days you just don't. Some days you are inspired by the wellness, weight loss, and gut detox program, and you want to quit. But you know that your goal was to stay in there for 1 year, and you knew that you wanted to keep it up. Okay? We're going to talk about how that small change can be a big transformation. All right. But did you know that this is normal? It's not normal to quit on something that is a good habit. Okay? But the momentum is different. Momentum, it keeps you going even when your motivation fades. Say it again. Momentum is different, and it keeps you going when motivation fades. Think of motivation as a spark. Remember, what was it that we talked about? What was the idea for the supplement? What was the idea for the group? What was the idea for the eating for your body type? What was the motivation for doing the Vibrant Woman Project? What was that motivation? What was that spark? Okay. And then think of momentum as the flame that keeps burning once the fire is started. Okay. You do not need motivation every day. I know, right? You do not need motivation every day to transform your life. You do need momentum. Okay? So how do you build it? Let's have a conversation about that. Have you ever seen a house just bricks and all planted on top of foundation? bricks and all. Okay, I'm going to bet no. And I'm going to bet that you would be like, that would be so silly because of it needing to be built with its cornerstone, with it needing to be built with the plumb line already checked. Okay. And then whenever it's just placed on top, could there be some shifting and cracking of the brick? And then whenever it's set on that foundation, and then when people start getting inside it and hanging stuff on the wall, is it going to fall? Okay. You build it by one small, consistent thing at a time. One small brick. Okay. It does move you closer to getting that house built. That is the goal. Okay. Here's a simple example. So let's say you want to have more energy. Okay. We're going to make this into like a health goal. Okay. Instead of saying, I'm going to completely change my diet, you start by drinking one more glass of water a day when you knew that you were probably only drinking 1 cup. Okay. You're going to start by drinking one more glass of water a day. That one action signals to your brain, hey, she's taking care of herself. We no longer have to hang on to all of this stuff. Okay. It can begin the filtering process. Your lymphatic system would know what to do. It can start draining like it's supposed to. Okay. I've also noticed people saying, well, I've just noticed myself peeing a lot. Yes. That's great, especially when we are detoxing, especially when not now alcohol detox. Well, I mean, that would be a completely different thing that we would have a discussion about. And you would not do that with me. You would do that with a professional that can monitor you because that's very specific. Okay. Now, but what I'm saying is you're taking care of yourself. We're getting motivated. We are detoxing from processed foods. We're detoxing from so much salt. We're detoxing from so much sugar. We're detoxing from all those carbonated drinks. Okay. So, and once your brain sees that you're consistent, it builds confidence. She'll be back. It doesn't have to hang on to all that weight because it knows, she's eating 4 times a day. She's eating 4 times a day. She must be on Connie's eating for your body type program, right? And then that confidence, it does become momentum. And the momentum becomes your transformation. And I always tell people, I've done this my whole life. For my whole life that I've done self-care coaching, that I've done this as a medical practice, I've said, take a selfie. I don't care if it's the cutest thing or the ugliest thing that you have on. It's for you. Take a picture of your before and after. You are going to be like, oh my gosh, I have a chin. I have a chin. Look at that. I have a chin. Yes, it doesn't come down. I have a chin. These are up here. Oh my gosh, look at my arms. When I wave. Oh my gosh, when I wave. When I look like this. Oh, wow. Do you see that jawline? It's wild what we are telling ourselves that we are so excited for when we actually do begin that. Okay. So I would love for you to type in the comments, even if it's something super tiny. Okay. I would love for you to type in the comments, drinking more water. Okay. What is one small step that you can take this week? That is a direction towards momentum. What is something that could be a motivation for you, even if it's so tiny? Okay. Now, let's talk about the drinking more water. I suggest that you do not drink your water when you are at your meal. Okay. So if you're going to do that, okay, make these good and tiny goals. But if you are going to do it, let's do it for something that's going to be helpful. Okay. So, and why do I say that? I've had people say, could you please explain it? Absolutely. When you go swimming in the lake, do you bring your cheeseburger with you? Okay. Because if you bring your cheeseburger with you and you trip on a rock and your burger lands in the water and then you pick it back up out of the water, it's soaked. Okay. Your cheeseburger is soaked. Well, and then you eat it, right? And then next thing you know, you have this water with your cheeseburger when really all you were going to eat was 1/4 of that burger and then you were going to set it aside. But now you have something in there expanding in your stomach and you're not finishing the most important part of your meal, which was, the protein. Okay. So what about walking after dinner? Walking after dinner is really nice. It creates peristalsis. Peristalsis is the muscle contraction that is actually going on in your small intestine, and it can affect your large intestine. Yay. All right. That's actually saying, okay, food, we need to move along. Okay, we don't need to stay in here. She's going to get really sick if we keep our food in here. We're going to take all of our vitamins and nutrients that she's given us in this food. We're going to take that from the food. We're going to send it over to the bloodstream. Great. Whatever we don't need, we're going to send it to the large intestine, and it goes out your backside, right? All right. That's great. That's a great motivation. Okay. What about setting your phone down for 30 minutes before bed? We had the conversation when we were talking about our nighttime routine. I believe that was when we were talking on Sunday or Self-Care Saturday. That was good. Go back and watch that one. It's really good. Setting that phone down for 30 minutes before bed so that your brain can actually start its down time. Okay. All of these are small. That 30-minute one may seem like a lot, but remember what I said. Put your phone on the other side of the room. Okay. Put your phone on your nightstand or on your dresser and not on your nightstand. Okay. So that's actually going to take quite a bit for you to have to reach for it to go get it, to turn off your alarm clock, and you're not going to have it so readily available. But what I would love for you to have readily available, like we talked about, is your journal. All right. Perfect. We're going to enjoy reading these comments. If you're watching this on the replay, I still want you to participate. But if you're watching this a year from now, I still want you to write this information in your journal, because this is how change begins. Okay. This is only a 30-minute discussion that we're having here. We're about 16 minutes in. Okay. So let's keep the conversation going with these. Why? Why do we want small shifts? Okay. Here's why small shifts matter more than big leaps. Okay. When you were a baby, did you learn, were you like out of your mother's womb able to walk? Now I might hear you say, well, at 8 months I was walking. Please know that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking, you went straight. You just went straight from the milk and you just started walking. Okay. I'm going to bet no. Okay. Your brain is literally wired for safety. Okay. And it doesn't like sudden changes, like drastic change. That would be a very drastic change. Okay. So when we try to do too much too soon, our stress hormones go up. What's that stress hormone? You can put it in the chat if you remember. If you said cortisol, you are right. Cortisol does not need to stay up when we are making changes. Unless you are making a change from you are moving away from a ginormous bear. Okay? That's what that cortisol is for. It's to say, we're in trouble. The blood needs to go to the brain and all the vital organs because we're not okay. But remember, stress hormones, we want to keep those down, and we want to be motivated by good change so that we don't have burnout. Yes, because we can end up quitting. All right. Remember, whenever I was saying in the very beginning, if you're in the wellness, weight loss, and gut detox program, if you literally said, I'm going to get all the supplements that she's talking about, I'm going to take her eating for her body type, program. I'm going to do all the things and I'm just going to do it. Let's go. That's great. But that was your motivation. Let's keep the momentum going. Keep that fire built up. Now, with all of that, what is one small change you're going to do? Because these are going to get you to where you're going, but this right here is going to get in the way. And you're going to end up quitting. Okay? Now, so when we make these small, gentle shifts, your brain says, oh, this is safe. I can do this. Really? Have you ever have you ever seen the book War and Peace? The thing is like thousands of pages, right? And if I told you, I'm really going to need to have a book report on that, okay? I'm going to need a book report on War and Peace, and I kind of need it in like 2 hours. But I really need you to cover some really major bits of that book, but don't leave anything out, okay? You would be like, no way. No way. Unless you just love the book War and Peace and you could literally recite the first chapter, okay. But you are like the 1% unicorn, okay? And you will get burnt out if you continue that lifestyle. I promise you. All right. So let's give an example from the wellness side, okay? If you want balanced hormones, I just gave a big deep dive conversation about this to women, and the questions they had afterwards were just music to my ears. It was so great that they were actually able to ask some question about their hormones and their bodies and fertility and infertility and PCOS and endometriosis and night sweats and hot flashes. We had such a great conversation. I cannot wait to do this webinar for you all. You are going to love it, okay? But if you want to balance your hormones, instead of trying like 5 new supplements all at once, okay, you can simply start eating breakfast that has protein in it every day. Breakfast with protein every day. I'm going to break down the why. Why in the world did I just say to have protein with breakfast? When you break your fast from whenever the sun was down to the sun is up, okay, you're breaking your fast. Your body was so busy regulating your insulin, which is a hormone. Your body was regulating cortisol, which is a hormone. Your body was regulating all kinds of things. And you were dreaming during the whole thing, right? So then you wake up and your body says, we're hungry. We're thirsty. Okay. So if you're someone who can't eat breakfast, okay, I've spoke to many clients that need to wait till later to eat breakfast, and then they have their water, they have their juice, they have their essential fruits and vegetables in the morning. How wild! Because they're just really not quite ready for a heavy meal, and they do that in a smoothie, right? But whenever they are ready to start their day, they have protein in the eggs, right? Protein in your meat. If you are not a meat eater, then we actually have a conversation about things that don't involve eggs or meat to get your protein. It's phenomenal and it's natural. So there you go. I'm so sorry, I'm hiccuping. The one small act to support your energy, mood, and blood sugar. Okay, this is just one small act. This is the thing that's going to set the tone for the day. Did you start your day off with a Pop-Tart and a cold cup of coffee? Did you start your day with an Egg McMuffin with a small coffee and a side of hash browns? I will almost guarantee you will be so hungry. You'll be so hungry in the next hour, and then you think it's snack time when it's actually not. Okay? Yes, that's not the protein that I'm talking about. One small act supports your energy, mood, and your blood sugar. Before long, you will feel better and without overwhelm. Whenever I talk to my clients about processed foods and I talk about the process of elimination of processed foods, it's interesting to hear their statements when they go back to processed foods. They say, I was exhausted. I felt so heavy. I don't know. Why in the world did I need a nap 10 to 30 minutes after my meal? Why did I have a headache? All right. So transformation happens when we reduce the pressure and increase the consistency. Okay? It's like a weight. I do tell my clients, usually I have one at my desk. I say, I would love for you to use 1 pound weights. I would love for you to go on a walk with them, and I give them a particular regimen of how I want them to do it, right? I've been doing this for years, okay? And they think, well, man, why can't I do like 5 pounds so that I can actually start to get more muscle? Why can't I do that? I mean, you said lifting weights will help put the calcium from my muscles back into my bones. So why couldn't I do 5 pounds and just be like, knock it out? you will have muscle fatigue. You will have that lactic acid. And then you know what's going to happen is you're going to not take a day break. You're going to take 3 to 4 days of a break, because even to go like this, you can't do. Okay? We've got to reduce the pressure, but increase the consistency. We're going to be just fine. Okay? Because your body and your mind, they don't need perfection. Okay? It needs stability. If you're getting your stability with your Egg McMuffin and your hash brown and your coffee, imagine if you made those at home yourself. Oh, and imagine your pocketbook. You think that you were ordering on the dollar menu when actually, when you have your cholesterol checked, when you have your heart checked, that dollar menu, they are not going to be there at the doctor's office with you when you are put on Lipitor or metoprolol, or when you're put on losartan, or when you're put on any blood pressure medicine to go in and try to help out what's going on. Remember, I'm a naturopath. I want you to naturally take care of your body. I don't want you on all of these prescriptions if you don't need to be. Let's think outside of the prescription bottle, and let's think, is that dollar menu every single day saving you money? It is not. It can end you up in the hospital, and next thing you know, you're having a cabbage, which is a coronary artery bypass graft. You're having stents put in. It's wildly how expensive those actually can be. Stents, they move. What if the stent moved and it didn't stay, and then you've got this blockage in your heart? Then you got to go back and have it done. Yep. And then next thing you know, out of pocket. You could have saved all that money, and you could have taken a trip to France. You could have taken that money, and you could have hired a chef. Okay? All right. Now, let's take a pause. Let's take a pause here, and let's talk about something that holds a lot of women back. Perfectionism. And it does start when you look at yourself in the mirror from the waist down. You're like, oh no, I'm already done. I'm blown up. I'm in menopause. I've got the spare tire that they talked about. I'm already there. You know what? I'm probably going to live, 20 more years. I might as well enjoy it while I got it. I'm not going to be in a bikini anyway. Trust me when I tell you that perfection tells you that if you can't do it all, don't do it all. Okay? Perfection tells you that if you can't do it all, don't do it at all. That's not true. Transformation says, do what you can and keep going. Okay? When you focus on progress over perfection, you give yourself permission to grow. And by the way, you are an adult. I know. Adulting 101. Transformation Tuesday is designed to be a little bit of a gut clencher. Why? It sets the tone for the rest of your week. Yesterday we had Menopause Monday. We were talking about all the things. We're doing little small bits there. Transformation Tuesday. Here we go. Difference between motivation and momentum. Okay? I am not talking about starting over. I am talking about continuing forward. Even if you are on the Eating for Your Body Type, Eating for Your Hormone Type program that's for 21 days, and you already started and then you missed a day. You missed a day of your supplement, so, oh my gosh, I might as well stop. Now I can't do it. I know I can't. That's not how we're thinking, okay? Because even if you had a hard week, you're still moving. You're still going, and that counts. Okay? So here's your mindset reset for the week. If you're watching this on the replay, press pause. Okay? I want you to celebrate efforts, not outcome. I want you to have progress built in, one decision at a time. I want you to say that you can't heal or grow from a place of shame, only grace. You have to give yourself grace. If that's the part that makes you cry today, then focus. journal. What are you not giving yourself grace for? Because you didn't take your supplements today? Because you didn't go for a walk? Because you didn't even shower today? Because today was just so awful. It was just off the rails, crazy cuckoo. Can you make every day be perfect? No. Progress. Progress over perfection. Okay? So I would love for you to type in the comments these words: keep going. If you're watching this on the replay, I would love for you to go to someone else's comment who said keep going, and I would love for you to tell them keep going. When they see your response, I would love for them to respond to you, yes, you too, keep going. Okay? If this hits home for you, if it doesn't hit home for you, then we need to have a chat. You need to book a call. We need to get things going. What is it? The Eating for Your Body Type? The Eating for Your Body Type Hormone Edition? Do you need to be in the Wellness, Weight Loss, and Gut Detox program? What is it? Do you need motivation with other women? Do you need to be a part of the Women's Wellness Journey membership group? If you want to know what that is, on the first Tuesday of every month at 11 o'clock, there is a free live where all women that are a part of that group, they all go in and they all get to hear a brand new speaker. It is not me. You get a speaker, you get information, you get motivation, and on that next Thursday, you get a live from me. You get information where we talk about that topic or whatever topic that we're on, and we break it down, and it is movable. It is movable parts that you can actually do so that you don't have overwhelm or restriction. Okay? We're going to do small, sustainable shifts. Okay? Those movable parts, they're small and sustainable. Oh, we're doing good on time. All right. So just remember that those small sustainable shifts, those do support your hormones. You feeling moody lately? You don't know why? What about your metabolism? What about your mindset? Because real transformation comes from the inside out. What is going on inside your body will come out. Are you yelling at everybody? Are you sad? Are you in need and you're just not saying anything, but you're building it up? Are you that kettle that just lets the water just get so rumbly until you just do nothing but whistle until your water level's too low for you to even whistle? That's not healthy and that's not safe. Okay? So, as we close for today, I want to leave you with this. Transformation doesn't happen because one big change. It happens because of 100 small choices that say, I'm ready to take care of me. Don't underestimate that small step. They're building the foundation of something much bigger that you can see just right now. Okay? So this week, I want you to practice one thing. I want you to focus on momentum over motivation. Okay? Do one small thing for your health and celebrate it. Tell us. Go onto my page and say, oh, Connie, I didn't eat gluten today. I didn't eat a stitch of gluten. I didn't eat processed foods today. Did you know that I actually chose celery instead of going into the pantry and getting a Reese's Buttercup? Yes, I put this almond butter on it and the only ingredient was almond. The only ingredient in my almond butter was almond. Yes, it's so great when you process almonds and you put them through a processor, this oil comes out, which is so great. It's so phenomenal. Put it on your skin. It's amazing. Almond oil is phenomenal. And if you want to know where to get some, I love to help you out with that. So anyway, do one small thing. You're transforming one day, one choice, and one step at a time. So my name is Connie, and thank you so much for enjoying this Transformation Tuesday. And I will see you for another empowering conversation tomorrow. Tomorrow we are doing, it's Wellness Wednesday. We are going to continue the conversation about iron supplements, and natural ways to receive iron. I talked about liquid iron, elemental iron, and I'm going to break down how we can break down iron in our body. What are we missing? Are we taking an iron supplement, but are we also doing this other one big, ginormous step? Okay. I hope that you found this information so valuable. Okay. We will do a giveaway tomorrow, and I want you to be there. I want you to go to Self-Care University OK Wellness Group. I want you to go to the Wellness Wednesday event that's going to be tomorrow, which should be the 29th of October. I want you to go in there, and I want you to invite 5 people and tell them why they should go to that. Why should they go? Did you hear me talk on Tuesday? Did you hear me talk on Monday? Did you know me? Do you already know that I am your practitioner? Do you know that I'm a really great nurse and that I love education? What are the things that you would tell someone, whether it's 5 words or more, to tell them? Now that gets you into the drawing. Okay. And so tomorrow I want to know who invited you. Who invited you? And if it's your name goes in the drawing. Who y'all want in that drawing? I am giving away NAD supplement from Clean Nutra. And trust me when I tell you that NAD is going to be very much rock solid when the cough and sneeze season show up. People are talking about flu shots. I don't know. We'll have a conversation about that offline. I love NAD. And it's not a shot. It's not a shot. It's a tincture drop. It's amazing. Yep. That's what's being given away. All right. You'll have a super fantastic day. And message me if you have any questions. Message me. And I would love to help out other people with your questions just like I did today. Have a fantastic one. Bye.